Hello again there, everybody. Once again, this is J-Matt Wyden with Reviews from Purgatory. This time around, I am reviewing Mimic 2, Hardshell. This is a sequel to the very good horror film, Mimic. Now, inevitably, with sequels, you end up comparing them to their predecessors, to the original in the series, because usually the original is the best of all of them. Maybe that's not true of all of them, of all franchises, of all horror franchises. Friday the 13th, Part 2, you don't have Jason in the original Friday the 13th. But in any case, Mimic 2, compared to the original, does not live up to it by any stretch of the imagination. The basic story here is that Remy Panos, a character from the original Mimic, returns as a school teacher at a public school in New York City, and there's a series of deaths around her, investigated by a detective Klasky. And there are two students who are also very important in this story and are key to all events and all that. Nikki, who is a former student of that school, who has the hots for her, and Sal, this little boy who doesn't really have anyone else and is kind of attached to his teaching. Anyway, it takes place not too long after the events of the original Mimic, but it lacks anywhere near as good of a story as the original. So, pretty much anything we could say that was good about the original Mimic, this one has a lack of it. Alright, so say we were talking about the special effects in the original Mimic, and we were talking about how good the CGI, the mix of CGI and puppetry were, and traditional special effects were. Anyway, this one relies too much on CGI, like a lot of more recent horror films, and it suffers for it. The CGI looks too fake, it ruins your suspension of disbelief. And while the soundtrack was good there, it sucks here. The sets were magnificent in Mimic, the original one. They suck here. Lighting, it's too bright here. It's not very good. The shots aren't that great. Characters, well, not just characters, the acting is weak. And, well, the characters were well done in the previous one. They suck here. They're not very interesting. They feel unbelievable. The script is, the writing is bad. Got a weaker director and writer and all that. And, well, the previous one had a lot of wonderful tension. It's not here at all. It's really weak. Timing feels off. It's like if you had timed it better, this here would scare people, and this wouldn't if you time it badly like this. You push the scare too quickly, or it's too late, or whatever. The story, I could go on and on about the story, how weak it is. You've got the classic thing where the Defense Department is for some reason after the bug, and you go, why? But, you know, they never really explain when there's some government guys after the creepy crawler or whatever. There's all these weird things about the bug kind of being drawn to her. They even violate the lore from the original. It says it's based off of a cockroach, that this thing is related to a cockroach. In the original Mimic, it was a praying mantis termite hybrid, so it had a lot of the attributes of a mantis, but the social hierarchy of a termite, and some of their chemical excretions and so on.
I don't think I need to tell you New Yorkers just how resilient the common cockroach is. Since it has proven to be virtually immune to chemical control, we had to find a new avenue of attack. So, with the aid of genetics labs across the country, we recombined termite and mantid DNA to create a biological counteragent. A new species to be our six-legged ally in wiping out the roach population. We call it the Judas breed.
So it actually changed it and suggests that it's a cockroach. But the whole idea was the Judas breed in the original was there to kill the cockroach population. It isn't a cockroach, it's there to kill cockroaches, and it became something more. There's a whole bunch of breaks in continuity at the end. It's just pretty damn bad. You can see all of the twists coming a mile away, and also it does ineffective jump scares. It tries to do jump scares, but they don't even work. Of course, let's get to the good. So, what was good about it? Well, it had a few good ideas. It just didn't pull them off very well. It's one of those horror movies that's so bad, it's just funny to watch. It's like the things they used to have on Mystery Science Theater 3000, you know? Movies so bad that they're kind of good because of how bad they are. So, it's that kind of thing to watch. It's kind of fun that way. When it breaks apart, its continuity is just terrible, and you go, oh, this is kind of awesome how bad it is. There's a part where it's like, oh, the phone's cut. Oh, look, there's an overdue notice. I guess they just disconnected it. Oh, well, okay then. Whatever. Anyway, the best thing about this movie might be the funniest death I've ever seen in a horror movie. The guy who's Jerry from Parks and Recreation, he gets killed while doing a pull-up. Gets killed while doing a pull-up. That's just awesome. That's awesome. So, rating on this movie. This is a 3. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen, but it's pretty bad, and it's just good enough that it's kind of a little bit watchable. It's not in terrible, I hate the movie I'm watching territory yet. Bottom line, pretty high in blood, very little fear. It's the horror movie you watch to laugh at how bad a horror movie is. Just watch it with some friends if you're going to watch it, and crack up at it, you know, throw popcorn at the screen and all that, because it won't impress you. So, goodbye from J. Matt Wigan, Reviews from Purgatory. And I just want to say, it's odd to have spoken this long about a second-rate movie. Have a nice day, everybody.